Welcome to General Chemistry 1. I'm Dr. Fang Xu, and today we're going to discuss some fundamental definitions of substances. First, what is physical and what is chemical properties? Now we have three different substances: table salt, oil, and pure water. How can you tell them apart? You may say, table salt is a solid. Oil and water are liquid. Oil and water are both liquid, but they may have different boiling point. Oil has higher boiling point, water has low boiling point. So these are all properties that belongs to these specific substance can make them different from others. And they are all physical properties because no new substance is created. For example, when we boil water, the water turning from liquid to gas, no new water is generated, right? It's the same thing, just water. So no new substance is created. It's a physical property. Also, we can say the salt can be used to manufacture chlorine. Oil can be used to make soap, and water can react with carbon dioxide. These properties in red, they are all chemical properties because obviously they make new substances. So the key to distinguish physical and chemical property or process is whether a new substance is created. And there are so many substances in nature, we need to find a way to identify or put them into different categories. And this is based on the smallest composition of a substance. You may have heard about periodic table before. Each symbol here represents an element. And there are so many elements in nature. Some of the elements are very stable by themselves. Some of them need to combine with each other to make a substance. For example, if we talk about oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen, those gases, I can show you the chemical formula here. The smallest composition of this gas made up by only one element, for example here, oxygen, only oxygen element, but with multiple atoms. Here we have two atoms. So we call this type of substance the molecular element. For others, most metals like copper, nickel, sodium, they can stand alone by themselves. It's 100% fine. So for these substances, we call them the atomic element. Both molecular element and atomic element are made by only one type of element. It's just how many atoms are there in the smallest composition tell them apart. Other things, which is more commonly seen in daily life, for example, carbon dioxide, water, oils, and those contains multiple elements. You can see here, carbon dioxide or water, they have two different elements in the smallest composition, but they only have one universal smallest composition to represent the compound, to represent a substance. So we call these the compound. And finally, we have the mixture. Mixture is, you cannot find just the one smallest composition. We found that there are different things mixed together, different elements and compounds mixed together, so it's a mixture. Most of the things you see in daily life, such as milk, tea, shampoo, they are all mixtures. Milk, you have protein and water. Tea, you have tea leaves and water. Shampoo, if you can read the ingredients, they have tons of things there. So they are mixtures. You are expected to distinguish and assign different types of substance. So how you are going to do that? So first, you need to find the smallest composition and identify how many type of elements are there. If it has multiple elements, it's compound. If it's only one element, then it's element substance. And also, if you, by looking at the smallest composition, if you find a multiple like multiple groups, and then it's the mixture. Let's take a practice. Question 1. What type of the substance is showing in the following A, B, and C? So A is in the middle. Let's take a look at A first. In A, we only find one type of group that is made up by 2 red balls and 1 blue ball. So first, it cannot be mixture. It's only one type of group. And then when you look at the smallest group, there are 2 different elements, 1 blue, 1 red. So this is a compound. If you look at B, now we find different groups. One is with a red ball and blue ball. The other group is made up by 2 red balls. So there are different groups in B. B is a mixture. Look at C. So C looks very condensed and it's like a slab. So for these type of thing, of schematic, it generally indicates it's a solid. Well, like A and B are in the gas phase or liquid. Okay, so in C, if you cut them into pieces, repeated pieces, you can see it's actually the same thing. Each column has the same thing, 2 red ball and 1 blue ball. Well, the orientation may be different, but it's the same thing. So for C, it's a compound. It's also a compound in solid phase. Take another question. We have 2 processes. Assign whether it's a chemical or a physical process. Let's take a look at A. Now we see it again as a solid. So cut them in lines. It's made up by red ball and a yellow ball. It's the smallest repeating unit here. From the left to the right circle is in gas phase, and you can also see it's just made up by one group. One group is composed of 1 red ball and 1 yellow ball. So the composition does not change. There is no new substance created. It's just coming from the solid phase to the gas phase. So A is a physical change. For B, we have a substance made up by a blue ball and a yellow ball. After process, we no longer have this substance. We have 2 new groups. One is just made of 2 blue balls, one made of 2 yellow balls. So before we have a compound, and after we have 2 different molecular elements, we create a new substance. So it's a chemical change. That's the end of this video. See you next time.